Welcome to the Rotary Club of Beaumont. Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. If you're on Zoom today, if you'll please mute your microphone. And Ty Kudrain is going to lead our invocation today. He's owner, Ty Kudrain Aflac Insurance Agency. And our pledges will be led by Lori Higgins, Assistant Vice President, Business and Community Development, Mobile Credit Union. Ty?
Before I start my prayer today, you may see the conspicuous stain on my tie. I blame it on being out of practice at having lunch in person with people. So that's my excuse, but please pray with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for all your blessings, especially the blessing of getting to see our Rotary family in person again. We ask that you help us in our efforts to serve our community. Help us to take advantage of the lessons we learned while overcoming many of the obstacles that 2020 brought us. Help our Rotary Club be a force for bringing unity to our community. We realize that one of the greatest ways that we serve you is by serving others. So we ask that you bless our efforts as we seek to uplift those who are the most vulnerable among us, both in our local community and in the global community. Help us inspire others to be their highest self by emulating a service above self lifestyle. In your name we pray, amen.
Good afternoon. It is so great to see you all. Please join me in the pledges. I pledge allegiance to one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. And the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to be in Texas, one state under God, one nation. Thank you.
Wow, didn't that pledge sound good? I want to thank everybody for being here today, and any guests we have, welcome, and we hope that you join us again soon. Now our Rotarian of the Day, Norma Sampson, is going to join us via Zoom. She is Executive Director, Julie Rogers Gift of Life Program. Norma?
Good afternoon, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to participate with the Rotarians' first hybrid meeting. And even when I'm in the car going back from picking up an individual at the airport. So thank you for this opportunity to share the Gift of Life Champagne and Ribs event that we're hosting this year. So like so many, we have repurposed the event. It's still the party of the year, but it's going to be a hoedown at your home. So it's a virtual event, and we're going to ask everyone to help us stomp out prostate cancer this year and join us as we lasso up a pandemic doldrums away with delivering to your doorstep the 1701 barbecue of blue broussards, a kid caboodle party bag. So it will be a fun event experience, and as we're saying, it's kind of a hootenanny that we're hollering for everyone to join us this year. We have sponsorships and event tickets that are available. And for many of you, perhaps you know some of the wonderful honorees who have joined us, and they're on the slide, as well as this year paying a loving tribute, remembrance to devoted, wonderful individuals and physicians who were supportive of our cause and meant so much to all of us in the community, Dr. Hal Clark and Dr. George Thomas. So we lovingly are going to be remembering them with a virtual event on April the 22nd. And we ask everyone to please join us in our efforts to raise much needed funds for our men's prostate and healthcare program. For those of you who have been with us at this event, we're able to once again resume the services during June Men's Health Month. And the Gift of Life will then underwrite the cost of all screenings for prostate cancer, primary care, and then navigate the men with abnormal prostate cancer results throughout our continuum of care, which means the program will underwrite the cost of all of their care to the point of where they have cancer diagnosis And then we offer support services, resources, transportation, as well as a support group, our Men Against Cancer. So all of the funds that we raise from Champagne and Ribs stay local, and they help the men in our community to weather the courageous battle against prostate cancer. So the screenings are going to be in June. They're in Beaumont, Port Arthur, and Orange. And we're this year moving to a COVID safety environment where we're going to go through a drive-through environment with both of them. With our collaborative medical partners in each one of these cities, we'll be able to provide robust services that near a $500 lab in value, with on-site physicians who will be directing this, as well as clinicians, and then providing telemedicine services for those men with abnormal outcomes. So this collaborative effort through all of the medical professionals, volunteers, and through individuals and companies like yourself, we're able to save lives in Southeast Texas. So thank you for the opportunity to share this blessing that we're able to provide to Southeast Texas men, and for your continued support. The information is in the slides for those that are there live. We've left some materials on the table. We ask that you please share, and again, lasso up your posse to be part of this life-saving event.
Thank you, Norma. Great cause. Now, as John Lee makes his way up here, I want to thank our tech crew. Tim Sedella was here earlier to help set up. Larry Beaulieu is helping out now, and of course, Jackie Chapman. So thank you. Now, John is going to come tell us about an upcoming event.
This Saturday, in conjunction with Lamar University's big event, we are sponsoring a cleanup at the Rotary Playground. If anybody has been out there, you probably could see there's the mulch that they call the kiddie cushion has really dropped down. It needs to be a lot more spread. There's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done. So we will be meeting from 8 to 1 on Saturday at the Rotary Centennial Playground near the event center by the lake. And out there, I called it a super spreader event because we're going to be spreading mulch, and but we'll be out there, and along with about 20 Lamar students, including Lamar Rotaract students that will be out there helping us do that. So pray for good weather and come join us to help clean up the Rotary Playground. Thanks.
Thank you, John. This is a great opportunity to bring your family out too, because there's a little something for everybody to do. If you have rakes or shovels, you can bring that. Are going to have some wheelbarrows, but it's going to be a fun day, and many hands make light work. So if you can come join us and help us out on Saturday, we'd appreciate it. Now to introduce our guest speaker, Belle Morian, Public Programming Director at the McFadden Wardhouse Museum. She'll be joining us virtually. No, she's here. Oh, great.
Good morning, everybody. Today, we will enjoy some warm and beautiful scenes of the natural beauty in our own backyard, Cattail Marsh Scenic Wetlands, with our two guest hosts, Christina Loki, Director of Marketing, and John Beaver, Ecotourism Development Coordinator, both with the Beaumont Convention and Visitors Bureau. Cattail Marsh is beautiful. I don't know if you all have been out there, but it is a real treat to see.
Jackie,
Yes.
I can hardly hear.
Pardon? Me? I'm too short. Okay. Now? Okay. Cattail Marsh has 900 acres of wetlands and offers a variety of recreational activities with a new boardwalk, more than 8 miles of gravel levee roads for jogging, hiking, biking, horseback riding, bird watching, wildlife photography along the banks of Hildebrandt Bayou and the Willow Marsh Bayou. Can y'all hear this feedback? Okay. Cattail Marsh is a wildlife refuge for a variety of aquatic animals. Christina and John will share the story of this beautiful natural refuge, how it was created and developed into a great tourist attraction. They will tell you the many opportunities and events that are available out there, from kids crafts to yoga classes, all at the Education Center. Cattail Marsh Wetlands Education Center would not have been possible without the funding from the Magnolia Garden Club and from the Golden Triangle Audubon Society and the City of Beaumont. And as a Rotary member and a Magnolia Garden Club member, I am honored to introduce to you Christina Logie and John Beaver.
Hey guys. So really quickly, I'm the type who likes to put too many slides in a presentation, but go through it really quickly so that if anybody would like the slideshow afterwards, they're more than welcome to ask me for it. So she did an amazing job. I love listening to others tell us about Cattail Marsh, because if you have not gone out there, the one thing I'm going to request is that you make a trip to Cattail Marsh Wetlands. It's inside of Terrell Park, and it is truly an incredible scene in our own backyard. So really quickly, hotel occupancy taxes. Everything I'm going to discuss today and everything that the Beaumont Convention and Visitors Bureau does is based off of hotel occupancy taxes, not your own tax dollars. And there's specific criteria that has to be met for where those dollars go. Really exciting stuff is that 365.8 million was actually accrued in 1 year. That was without COVID. So we truly need to make sure of the importance of tourism and the impact. I'll go sit closer. Okay, so what we do is we basically showcase Beaumont in multiple different facets, from architectural, industrial, active, faith, dog-friendly, historical. And we wanted to show you some of those, but the most important, or the one that's made the biggest impact, has been nature. Tim Sedella did that incredible picture. So what we did was overly click on a technology component. Sorry. All right, let's talk about what matters. First of all, Jefferson County is number 14 in 254 counties for the amount of bird species cited. Texas is second in all of the states in the United States, which basically means that we have an incredible amount of bird species, and it's the basis for why birders tour to different parts across the United States and across the world. Why this matters. Well, this is actual data that's been accrued over the last 3 years. And if you can see, the blue is actually from 2018, the orange is 2019, and the red is 2020. There has not been any other market, including events, activities, hotels, that has any type of an increase to the magnitude that birding tourism has. And this is truly based off of IP addresses of people using cell phones at actual birding locations.
Hi, I'm John Beaver. I'm the Ecotourism Development Coordinator at Cattail Marsh Wetlands Education Center. We have weekly events, workshops for all ages where you can come learn a little bit about the marsh and the animals you see out here, or bring your kids out and we have fun activities for them to do. Also, we have a beautiful boardwalk behind me where it's a great spot for birding and taking in all the different types of nature you can see here. Also, you can just sit and enjoy the breeze on a beautiful day, kind of like today. There's 12 miles of walking trails around that you can come get your exercising out here. We also recently opened a gift shop with where all the proceeds go back into the marsh and the different programs that we have. Come out and see us at Cattail and enjoy it for yourself. Please follow us on Facebook at Cattail Marsh Wetlands Education Center to keep up with our weekly events. Thank you.
And now we have John Beaver.
Hello, my name is John. I'm the Ecotourism Development Coordinator out at Cattail. I spend most of my time at Cattail, and I love it. It's the best office in Beaumont, if you ask me. Okay. So Christina talked a lot about birding, and that is very important. And the reason why it is such a good location for birding is because it was constructed in 1993, and it serves as the final stage in the city's wastewater treatment. And since it's a city water utility facility, there's no hunting or fishing, so it's kind of acts as a protected area, and that's what's made it such a great spot for birding and wildlife viewing. But we know everyone's not a birder, So we wanted to add different things that can attract more locals and visitors out to Cattail. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. On Saturdays at 9:30, and also I should start saying that everything we do out there, all of the programs and activities are all free. And so it's a pretty good thing. But at 9:30 on Saturdays, we have a yoga class every week. From 11 to 2, we do arts and crafts, kind of targeted towards kids and families, but everyone is welcome out there. We like to see a lot of people out there. And Tuesday mornings from 8:30 to 9:30, we have coffee at Cattail, and where you can come grab a cup of coffee and enjoy the scenery from the education center or the boardwalk. Also, we have photography workshops that happen every now and again. My coworker Ken Guidry, who's an excellent wildlife photographer, he works out there with me, and he does those photography workshops. And if you're interested in photography or think you might be, I suggest to come out and enjoy one of the photography workshops, because you'll learn a lot. And Ken will be able to just tell you everything you want to know about the different animals that we see out there. And best way to keep up with everything we do is to follow us on Facebook and different social media. That's where we update the weekly events and then the special events that we have. And we keep all this free with our gift shop that we added. 100% of the proceeds go back into the education center and the programming that we do. We recently added the books there you see on the left side of the screen. Those are a pretty big hit. We have books for kids and adults, as well as different merchandise, t-shirts, coolers, Yeti tumbler, or excuse me, Arctic tumblers, but all sorts of stuff. Starting next week, we're going to have van tours of the marsh. And I'm very excited about that because, as was stated earlier, there's like 8 to 12 miles of trails that you can walk and bike and people horse ride out there. But if you don't know what you're getting into, it could be a pretty tough walk. Like, the first time I went out there was back in July, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I thought, I'm in relatively good shape. I can walk around the marsh. I'll be fine. And I got to the backside of the marsh about an hour into it, didn't have any water, and I thought there was no way I was going to make it back. I was just going to have to live out there. But so that being said, the van is a great way to see the marsh, and we're going to start tours weekly through May next week on Tuesdays in the afternoon at 3 and 4, Thursdays at 10 and 11. And we have the 15-passenger van you see there. We're going to have lower numbers. We're only going to allow 8 people in there. And if you were interested in that or know somebody who would, we have a link for a page where you can register, and that's also found on our Facebook page. Other things to do, we offer free binoculars for anyone to come take. We just ask a driver's license. You can walk around the marsh, see the different birds out there. We have a spotting scope at the education center pointed at the bald eagle's nest. We have a nesting pair of bald eagles that have been coming for about 10 years, and they live here through roughly October through April. They go north to cooler weather in the summer months, which makes them smarter than me because I stay here and it's very hot. We also recently bought disc golf discs, and we have those for sale in the education center or to rent. Same way as the binoculars, we just ask for a driver's license. And the disc golf course is located inside the park, which is very easy to walk to the start of it from the building. And with that, we're going to learn a little bit more about what else we have going on inside Terrell Park.
Really exciting stuff. Something that I think is so unique is how many people we've come across who claim that they haven't been inside Terrell Park in the last 10, 12 years and still have never heard of Cattail Marsh. Truly, Terrell Park is a haven of so much to see and do, and we just want to be able to let people know so that they can go out there. So just a little introductory, we were going to kind of give you all a little bit of a sneak peek of what our vision was for the Terrell Park Nature Center. We are hoping to have 4 different sections that will be separated out into phases, allowing to ensure education of wetlands. because especially with fourth graders, there's so many resources and grants available for wetland education. And to include exploring outdoors with outdoor classroom settings. All of this was made before COVID and now even more relevant with open-aired options. So just as another diagram, the outdoor area will also include some areas where kids will actually be able to do it themselves, learn some bird identification and the importance of why Beaumont is so big with birding, truly based off of the flyways. That's at the bottom right corner. There's a green and a blue for the Central Mississippi Flyway, and Beaumont is right dab in the middle. So really exciting is there'll be a lobby and a welcome center with the gift shop that will be associated. The Wetland Wonders will include interaction with the wetlands and showcasing the wastewater treatment facility that would be just half a mile away. And we'll also include actual displays so that kids will be able to interact with the different types of species and wildlife that they could find at Cattail Marsh, hopefully that they will visit after the Nature Center. The outdoors will include much more hands-on, but of course, using nature and the importance of nature and education components that include planting and bird watching with a little observation deck. Just a few more examples. So phase 2 is what we believe to be the most important due to the fact that there will not be a roof on the exterior of the outside of one specific corridor in the building. Our hope is to have a butterfly garden to allow for schools to be able to grow the butterflies in the classroom and schedule dates to come and release those butterflies in the butterfly garden, and to also be able to allow people to come and release a butterfly in honor of a loved one or soldier to show respect towards the history of the actual CCC building. This is just a quick rendition. Obviously without a roof, it would be like a net enclosure. Then in the left side, I'm sorry, the right when you first enter, would be the historical video room that would include a little bit more of the history of the Terrell Park Nature Center, the building beforehand, and it would also have theater mode and a little bit of areas so that people will be able to sit comfortably but socially distant. And then finally, we are the most excited about this, truly because we're 0.8 of a mile away from Cattail Marsh. We figured that for a family to be able to unload the kids and then put them back in the car to go half a mile away to Cattail, we need to encourage some type of a nature trail. So we are looking forward to introducing the importance of pollinators, of butterflies, bees, birds, and allow for a QR indicated nature trail that would be 0.75 of a mile that would connect the Nature Center to Cattail Marsh. And we're so excited about this because we're hoping to work with different groups and organizations to be able to set up areas for loved ones, benches, and specific trees and birding lookout spots. Here are just a few of the options. You're able to see kind of where the trail will go. And then we just wanted to throw in a few of our slides of what the CVB has coming up next.
When I'm not down at Cattail, I get to work in our office downtown on a bunch of different fun projects and initiatives. One I'm very excited about is coming up is Bo Cycles, which is a bicycle sharing program that's going to be downtown. It'll be a good way to get people outside, exploring downtown, taking in the great architecture, the history, the rich history that we have down there. The plan is to have wayfinding directional stickers on different parts of downtowns, indicating different points of interest throughout the downtown area. And we also kind of split up downtown into like 4 districts, but it's really just different quadrants of downtown grouped with like points of interest. Here's what the map will look like. And as you see, the quadrants or districts I was talking about. And there's gonna be 3 different spots to pick up a bike: the event center, the civic center, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau office on Willow Street. So it'll work similar to like if you've ever been to Houston or Austin and seen the scooters that they have that people can take and ride around. Those you just lay or down when you're done with them for people to pick up. These we're still going to have the 3 locations that you can kind of do a loop ride and then come back and bring them back, and it'll be very affordable. And it's a good way for locals and visitors alike to enjoy our beautiful downtown. Also, we have the Cajun Trail coming up, which is pretty exciting, and Christine is going to tell you a little bit more about that.
We're just really excited because 100% of travelers eat. Really cool fact. It's statistically correct. And the importance of Beaumont is just how incredible our Cajun Creole food scene is. And not just Cajun. We have multiple different food trails coming. This is just the very first one that will be kicking off on April 17th for National Crawfish Day. It just seemed like perfect timing. And what's so great about this is it's Banwango. So City of Beaumont is truly in the digital age. We are going to be having exclusive digital passports that don't require you to download the app. It's the most brilliant thing ever, because how many times do you actually download that app? You don't. So really exciting stuff is they'll be able to check in, they get free prizes after checking into so many restaurants, and it just continues to go up. And more importantly, the amount of Cajun food gets searched in SEO content daily all across the state of Texas. So it's just going to draw on more visitation. And with Restaurant Week and Black Restaurant Week that's going on right now, we love visitation, and we're going to do everything we can to increase people to come see just how great Beaumont is. Does anybody have any questions or suggestions, answers, anything? Absolutely. So the question was, what is the time frame for the new building out there? Yeah, because we're doing Zoom as well. So the time frame right now is the building has been under construction just for the exterior and the interior, just to be demoed and like repurposed with the wood. That should be finished sometime in June or July per se. And then from there, we will have to start putting into the building what needs to go inside the building. So our expectations were early of the following year or mid-spring, just because of our goal of what we'd like inside the building. Not to say that it wouldn't be sooner. I keep looking at my boss, hoping that he's gonna say yes or no to my answers. Yes, sir. Yes. Our taco was amazing. We had 3,500 people. We never in a million years would have expected it, because we only sold 150 tickets 20 minutes before the event started. 150, which means everything you think you know about events, throw out the window. Okay? Nobody's buying tickets till the day of at the event, guaranteed. And on a beautiful day, you will sell 180% of the tickets you sold. I'm so sorry. I know you had a question. It was an event center. It was the CCC. I'm gonna let somebody
It
else.
was the CCC building, a community center. For most of its time, it was built back in the 30s, so there's a lot of rich history there. And that's why we're trying to save that, but repurpose it as well.
Because we do have the Botanical Gardens that's just 1.2 miles away inside Terrell Park that is in fact an event center and can hold those events. Any other questions? I did. Are you sure? Okay. Honestly, we got very lucky that Lake Charles got hit with a terrible hurricane, and I hate to say it, but they've benefited from 3 different storms that we've had for the last 6 years and gotten all of that hotel occupancy tourism dollars, because obviously it takes contractors to come in. So we did have 2 very strong months that helped us in the very beginning of this year. But I can actually say now that we have factual evidence and actual IP addresses that Restaurant Week brought in over 890 out-of-state residents throughout the March 4th through the March 14th 2-week Restaurant Week event that we targeted and we brought physically here. 1,800 out-of-state, out of 3-hour mile distances. So because after 3 hours, I can assume they stayed an overnight stay. So I think that what's been really exciting is that our baseball and softball tournaments are still going strong. Our sales team has been doing an amazing job with that. So there is a lot that we've been able to move the needle to where our actual budget or what we're expecting, we've actually met up until this far. which is unheard of in any other CVB. And Beaumont is the only CVB in the state of Texas that had any type of positive percentage increase over the last 3 quarters of data, the information that they had. And I have facts. I have facts to prove it because I love statistics. But I mean, it is great not to say about Lake Charles. We obviously are going to be there for them, but honestly, we were very lucky because that's what's allowing the Nature Center to continue. And the Nature Center, I know I'm wearing birds. I hated birds when I first got this job, but the money isn't just in birding, especially with COVID. Think about how many of those numbers you saw that kept increasing over the year, including in 2021. It's because outdoor open air environments have just skyrocketed. So the best part about birding is that young people, it's trending. Young people want to do it. This was 4 of the slides that just magically ripped and missed, but I have to show you this one. In 2011, they estimated it's a $41 billion spent annually on birding in the US. That statistic was from 2011, okay? The best part ever is that we have international visitors coming to Beaumont, Texas for birding. Internationally, people are coming to Beaumont, Texas. So if there's anything you can take away from this, it's that when you hear about a nature center or anything derived behind nature, it truly is driving so much money and tourism dollars into this area that we desperately need. Yeah, sorry. That's the state of Texas. So only these little areas that are red, look at how many red areas are anywhere else in the state, right? Or even in the US, there's very few red areas. And Beaumont is like red, even not on the coast. You have to understand how important that is. We're not on the coast, but yet we're red. Okay, sorry. No, there's a time limit. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. That was me just spitting out just then. But if there was any other questions, I just think it's important sometimes because if what you don't know or you don't understand, you may not like myself in the very beginning of birds. But now that I know, you know. Yes, sir. We do. Question was, do we still have a live webcam at Cattail Marsh? And because I'm screen sharing, yeah, let's just have some fun with this. Let's just type in Beaumont, Texas, TX, because nobody actually spells anything anymore. Webcam on Google. I just love that we got to work on this SEO. We're going to do it. We're going to do it today. Today, you will be able to type it up and it will work because all I like is SEO, but obviously we forgot about the newsrooms that have webcams also. Sorry, SEO is search engine optimization. I live too much into the website, but I'll tell you that if you're missing one word on your own website metadata, 9 times out of 10, you're not found. But the Beaumont CVB is found. So if you just typed in Cattail Marsh webcam, it would be the first. And after today, I promise it will show up. But what's so great is that in the future, we're hoping to have a few more, not near the Eagle's Nest, obviously, but it does give you a good view at any time during the day. And just to also show you, we have an incredible website which allows for a tool for anybody who'd like to ever visit Beaumont, or let's say you have in-laws coming in or family extended that you'd like to look for things to do. And so I would definitely encourage you to go to visitbeaumonttx.com or beaumontcvb.com, all the same thing, to find things to do with kids, day trips, road trips, follow the crawfish trail, the most Instagrammable foods.
No, go ahead.
So
what's up?
Yeah, we have plenty. And I love the phone conversation in the background, but did you know we had water recreation in Beaumont? We do. All of these pictures we're taking in Beaumont. And what's really great is you'll even get to hear other people brag.
No, I didn't.
About things to do in Beaumont. Yeah, I love this in the background. And then just to really show you some cool
Good
stuff.
night. I didn't know it all.
We're gonna, okay.
Well, you know, They, I'm sure you know who it is if I can think of her name.
Not Cindy.
But
I
one
hope
of
he's gonna say
dearest
something
friends
good.
that
Tell me he says something good
forever
about me. Please say
was
you
in
have something
Calder
good.
Woods.
Yes,
And
I'm
she
imagining
went to the
Delani.
doctor last week
So
and
best
they
part
didn't
is
know it and she didn't know
I
it, but
really
she's
want to meet
eating
this
up
surgeon.
cancer, and that told her do anything she wanted to do. She had 6 months or at maximum.
All right, perfect. We muted it.
Did mute your off. Thank you.
Yeah, I figured that one took me a second. So what's really exciting is kind of I know I kind of ran through it in the slide really fast, and truly I could have put 20 more of these slides in there, but the data we were talking about earlier, I mean, if you look at what some of the peak days, I mean, in 2018, on a peak day was like 1,900 unique visitors. In 2020, which is, 2019, which is the orange, we go up to like 4,000 as a peak. So it was almost doubled in size. And then here we are in 2020, in those months that we were all inside our homes, it got up to like, 53, 5,400. And this is our spring migration. There's 5,500 right there. So I think if there's any type of variables, while I don't have an actual exact amount of money that these people spend, I can prove from their IP addresses exactly where they were from, the fact that they were not from this area or a 50-mile radius. And I honestly can tell you how much money they make just because their median average is for some reason able to be pulled off of their cellular data. So I think that something really interesting to know is just that yeah, it is scary. It's definitely scary, but just that the Beaumont CVB is really, we're not just using technology, we're allowing and advancing and spreading so that we can add incredible, young, gifted, strong students who come back to Beaumont and who care. And that's what's so cool about what we do, because we're making a difference and it's fun. Yeah. That's fun.
Thank you, Christina and John. That was such an informative presentation. It makes me want to go check out, especially the Cattail Marsh, but some of the other things that you talked about too. John, I want to thank you for taking one for the team and trying out that walking tour prior to the rest of us going out there and having to call for the rescue squad. And Christina, your enthusiasm just really ramps it up and makes us want to go out and have fun in Beaumont. I hate I missed the taco truck now. That sounds like a really fun event. In your honor, in both your names, we'll be making a donation to the Rotary Foundation in one of our newest areas of focus, which is supporting the environment. Thank you for sharing all the nature that you brought with us today. In closing, our program next week is going to be 3 former scholarship recipients. And we will also be awarding our 2 newest Rotary scholars at the end of that meeting. So come see how Rotary is impacting lives. Bring your friends and family this weekend on Saturday down to the playground. Let's get that work done and get the playground looking sharp again. And a reminder that make your reservation by Monday at 4 o'clock if you're going to attend in person. So Jackie can have a number to give to the Elegante so they can be prepared. Thank you again to the tech crew for leading us through this inaugural event here today. And let's close with the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you all for coming today, either online or in person. It was so good to see everybody. Go out and find opportunities to lead and serve.